Welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show, brought to you by First Bank and by Zaxby's Friends Family Flavor with your host, Chris Delambert.
Welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. I'm Chris Delambert. With me, as always, Hector Perez of Zaxby's, the marketing guru. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. It's been a long week, but you know what? We're starting another one, so I might as well get back to it again.
Well, see, I know the truth, and the only reason it's been a really long week for you is the Fortnite servers are down.
Oh, God, no, that's not me. Well, yeah, no, you know what? No, yeah, that is me, actually. I'm going to admit it. I play the crap out of it. You know, it's something I got into, and I can't stop, so.
All right, so any predictions or forecast on when they're going to be back up?
Tomorrow.
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 Are you going to make it that far?
Yeah, I think I'll be okay. I mean, work's has got me up to right here, so I think I'll be okay.
All right, I've got some kids that don't have a job that are jonesing right now. They got to get back in their game, man. I don't know. You guys have a big 5K coming up, fundraiser.
Yeah, about 2 weeks I think now it is. So it should be a lot of fun. You know, it's at Stanley Park here in Sanford. It's at 10 a.m. in the morning. You know, we're gonna have Piedmont Race Series that's gonna be doing the timing and all that stuff. So they got their whole setup, and it should be a lot of fun. And we also have the Monster Dash. So if you want to bring your costume and your kids to just be there, go at it, have fun. It's a walk, so it's not an actual 5K for those people.
Yeah, I may show up for the walk part. The run, I don't know if I'm interested. Who are we raising money for?
We are raising money for Victory Junction in Asheboro in Roanoke County. What it is basically 50 acres of land that was donated by Richard Petty. You know, it's a big land where kids, you know, can have fun. It's all sponsored by donations. No parents have to pay for their kids to go there, and it's for kids, that have some disability, that are sick, so that just to make them have a good time, and just to be kids for that good summer. So it's a good cause.
And how much is the entry fee for the run?
So the entry fee for the 5K, I believe, is $35, and then for the Monster Dash is $17.50.
All right. And you can get more information on that. I'm going to try this website with no notes.
Gotcha.
PiedmontRacingSeries.com.
Close. PiedmontRaceSeries.com. Yeah,
PiedmontRaceSeries.com.
Yeah, you can go there. You can go to race registration, look for our 5K on October 26th, and you should be good to go from there.
All right, and if you're old school, you can register day of the race at the event.
You can register the day of the event.
Outstanding. All right, what's new at Zaxby's?
If you haven't heard yet, it's been going on for a while, but Sensation Salad is back, and they made a twist in it and made it into a sandwich. So I personally don't think it's bad. You also get an egg roll with a fry, so it's not bad.
I've seen the television commercials all over the place. They're among my favorites right now rolling. You guys did a good job with that.
Oh, yeah.
It's served with an egg roll.
Yeah.
How's the egg roll? I'm always a little skeptical. I'm not lying. I'm not going to lie. When restaurants get outside of their lane with what they normally do, promise me that the egg roll is good.
The egg roll is great.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Anything else you'd like to add?
Other than that, definitely sign up for the 5K. Well, we'd love to have people there.
All right, very good. Hector Perez, as always, thank you to you and to Zaxby's, Rob Pass, everything that you do for regional high school sports. You guys have been awesome since you came to town.
Oh, man, we love to be part of it.
All right, thanks for everything you do. We'll be right back after the break. We got a whole host of things going on this evening.
Guys, it's back!
Inline skating.
Rock and roll hair?
Calling this thing a pound sign instead of a hashtag? No, the sensation is back at Zaxby's.
The Zensation Salad is back, and introducing the new Zensation Filet Sandwich Meal with hand-breaded chicken, Asian slaw, wonton strips, and citrus vinaigrette, both served with an egg roll. The Zensation Salad and Filet Sandwich Meal, only at Zaxby's.
Pentair, empowering people to move water, improve water, enjoy water, so that people can live their best, healthiest lives. Lives with purpose. Lives with enjoyment. Lives that flourish. Lives with hope. Because at Pentair, we're not just about better water. We're about better life. Pentair, bringing water to life, for life.
Legendary, three-time Hall of Famer, Coach Paul B. Gay. Coach, how are you, sir?
I'm doing just fine. Glad to be here.
I want to know, people, there are folks that are new to the area who don't even realize that Paul B. Gay Stadium is named for you.
That's right.
What year was the stadium renamed?
1973.
Okay. 1973.
Yes.
That was a year after I was born. Oh, my gosh. I do have to know, though.
It was a good year.
We've been doing, I've been doing play-by-play on and off for Lee County High School for 7 or 8 years now. Was the same press box built back in 1973? Is it that old?
It was built in 67.
67.
67, and they didn't finish it before the game. They just barely got it finished so that they could use it for the first game after the stadium was put together there.
Well, it's still intact, but it's barely hanging on. So if you're out there and you're interested in how you can support Lee County football, we need a new press box desperately. Just saying. I was watching footage of the 1968 state championship team this afternoon, and it occurred to me that high school football really hadn't changed a whole lot in the last 50 years. It's still about the best athletes from one community trying to gain ground and score on the best athletes from another community. 1968, that was 7 years before the shotgun snap made its way into the NFL. Tom Landry was the first person to use it regularly. And as far as I'm concerned, all innovations in football come from high school. What innovations can you put your fingers on from that era that Sanford Central was a part of?
You know, I can't think of a whole lot of changes. I know that we would line up with PJ, and PJ, my son, as a tailback and run a little single wing stuff, and we would flip-flop the line, and I know that Texas did that, and we had I'm getting off the subject, but anyhow, we had a weak team in 1965. We had a weak team, and I put my best players on this side and the best players on, the weak players on this side. We didn't call them weak, we called them the quick players. but anyhow, it turned out so good, and we still were running that when Tommy was playing in 67, and I don't know, it was a boost for me that it worked. And it worked for several more years, for about 5, 6, 7, 8 more years.
Well, they say that necessity is the mother of invention.
Well, I don't know if I was that creative, but anyhow, football hasn't changed when it comes to blocking and tackling, running the ball, and of course throwing the ball. All that still goes on, and just more of the game is throwing the ball now. In high school and grown up.
Now, in high school, how many state championships were you a part
of? There's 2 I love whining about, but we had they wouldn't allow us to play but 13 games, and we won the state championship 3 years in a row then. But they gave us we all called it state championships, but we didn't play for the state championship. But the Western team was a state champion, and we were a West champion. But that's the way it was. So we had 3 in a row there with Tommy and Haverstadt playing, and then in 73, 72 we won the state championship. I mean, we tied for the state championship with Tuscola in the 14th game, and then the next year we won the state championship. Our first year in the 4A league, and then the following year we played Gastonia, and they beat us by 1 point, and I still love to whine about it because we should have won.
Of course you should have. Tom, now you were the quarterback on that team.
Right.
Talk a little bit about what you see when you watch high school football now versus where you all were at then, schematically, size-wise, speed-wise. Could that 68 team line up today and play against the 2019 iteration of Lee County?
That's the age-old question. The guys in the audience probably would say no. But 50 years ago, we looked a little bit different. One thing, I'll go back to the question you asked Coach Gay about what's different. What's different in our time was preparation. There were no high school teams that we knew of that did the film study and the preparation. Several games, you could hear their players saying, Coach, they know what we're going to run because of the preparation that went into it.
Got it.
As far as your question, We probably had a way limited playbook compared to current high school teams, I guess. But we knew those plays precisely. We knew them from two sides, weak and strong, and we practiced those plays every day. So when it came down to execution, trap plays, draw plays, screen passes, we really knew what we were doing at that time.
Now, I want to talk about the current events here. There's been a lot of news, a lot of reporting, and a lot of controversy with regard to head injuries and CTE in the news with high school football, college football, NFL football. I played high school football, and most people that I know at one point during their high school career can point to and say, you know, I got my bell rung, and I got back in there. But now, when you watch a football game on television, there are half a dozen players going down throughout the game with a head injury like that. Is that, I put it down to bad technique. When I was a kid, if you used your helmet to tackle somebody, it was called spearing, and it was a 15-yard flag. You were going to get the penalty, and you were probably going to get cursed out on the sideline when you got over there. What do you attribute it to?
Gosh, back in our day, using your head wasn't necessarily outlawed. There was no such thing as helmet to helmet. A lot of times, if you were in a situation where you were going to run into two guys, that was the way you protected yourself. As far as head injuries, these guys would laugh if they saw the helmets that we wore, but at the time they were the best on the market. They were suspension helmets and basically very little padding, but mainly suspension away from the plastic. But, you know, there probably were a lot of guys that got their bell rung, but you didn't hear a lot about it, I guess. I don't know if you just got up and went back in or what the deal was.
Well, we had some kids knocked out and had the bell rung, but we kept them out of the ball game. I know Mike Lawton was one of them. They had a head-on collision with a guy from Hope County, and he didn't know what was going on until the next morning. But if Lawton had had a game the next morning, he would have played. Because you couldn't keep him out.
Well, that's what it was. You know, a little bit of smelling salts, and you get back in there.
If I may just add to what Tom said, I didn't realize till after I got to college just how fundamentally we were prepared to play. I thought every high school did film study like we did, and I talked to guys and they never watched film compared to what we did.
Just get off the bus and line up and play.
That's it. You know, they ran their plays and they thought they were fine. With Coach, when we stepped on the field, we knew what was going on, and that's what I think made us a better team.
Well, Tom had some interesting, he wouldn't share very many stories, but he did have some interesting stories about you on the sideline with that 68 team. Do you have any fond recollections, any anecdotes about that team that you can share with us?
Well, we just had good kids that could play. They had good attitudes. They were easy to coach, and a lot of, you know, you don't win without good athletes, and of course Tommy was way ahead of his time as a high school quarterback, and he was easy to coach. You could give him the assignment of the play, and he could do it. But anyhow, we just had good athletes, especially during that one era. And they performed, and we played good teams too.
Chris, we did a little show with WRAL last year when we were getting ready to do this, and they asked me about Steve Jones, and obviously Steve was our best player. And I've done a lot of thinking since then, and you know, I wish I'd have said Steve was a good player, but you know what? We had a lot of good players.
We sure
because
did.
we did, and none achieved the stardom and the recognition he did in the NFL, but we had several that played some in college, and we had sort of grown up together. We were on the 7th grade team, the 8th grade, 9th grade, and then right on into high school. So I'm going to give Steve a copy of this, and I want to make sure he knows that he wasn't by himself.
Yeah.
Coach, I said during the broadcast when you were presented with the bust that I wish that I would do anything in life good enough that I would be recognized to have had that kind of impact, that somebody would present me with a bronze bust. I have to know, did they keep it secret? Did you have any idea what was coming?
I didn't know.
That's perfect.
All my wife knew, my 3 sons knew, everybody knew but me. And I never, well, I'm not all that smart, but I couldn't catch on to anything that would imply that. And I don't think I'm good enough to be a bus player, but but it was really a high honor, and it was exciting. But anyhow, I still don't know how to. I'm kind of overwhelmed by it.
Chris,
I
if
imagine.
I may speak for the team, thanks to Tom Haslip and Dennis Wicker, that bus came about. The rest of us jumped in after Dave spearheaded, and so.
Still the quarterback after all these years.
He
Yes,
is. He is.
Well, Tom, I know Tom put through many hours over the last 2 years because, it was supposed to happen last year and it didn't, and he had to do another performance another year later.
It was worth it.
So the bust was supposed to be presented a year prior. Was it?
Not really.
Not really?
We
I didn't
sort
even
of
know that.
decided on the bus, but it was a 6-month process.
Wow.
Once we had to get, gave the okay, we had to get pictures and models had to be done, and it's a pretty extreme process.
The only way it could have been better is if you'd have made it with your own hands.
Well, good point.
That would have been a little bit longer process.
So where is that bust going to reside?
When you go toward the stadium through the home side, there's I call it a 90-degree turn in the fence where there's a couple of banners, a lot of people stand. It's going to go right in that area. And as a matter of fact, it went up today.
Awesome.
So it is in place, and everybody that goes to the home stands will walk by it. It's got a plaque on it that summarizes his accomplishments as a coach and indicates that it's dedicated by our team, which I'm very proud of. And when we started this process, some people said you might need to get all of Coach Gay's teams to participate to make this thing happen, but I made about 10 phone calls, and it was kind of a done deal.
That's amazing.
That shows where he stands with us.
Well, I've got one more incentive to get out there this Friday. We will be on hand as Union Pines travels in to take on Lee County, and I can't wait to get out there just so I can go see that thing in all its glory. I'm excited. Gentlemen, I'm honored to have been here with you this evening.
Thank you for having us.
Coach, thank you so much for coming out.
Well, I'm delighted to be here.
Anything anybody'd like to add?
I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right, thanks again. I'm Chris Delambert. This is the Zaxby's Coaches Show. We'll be back on the other side. We got Coach Ken Neal, Coach Steve Burdeau coming up from the Cavaliers and Yellow Jackets, respectively. And First Bank is here to give away some awards. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
The right tech can move you. The best tech can move the world. De-stress your drive with the all-new 2019 Nissan Altima. Impossibly smart.
With every weekend on the go, we never know where we're going to end up. That's why we got the Ford Explorer. You get the feel of a car with the room and space of an SUV, which is all a bonus. Trips to the mountains, trips to the river.
Soccer games, baseball games, anywhere. Big Bear.
After 13, 14 years of having a Toyota, I'm not going back.
Welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. Chris Delambert joined by Steve Burdeau. my favorite Lee County high school coach. What's going on, buddy?
Doing well. Happy to be here.
All right, so I gotta get on you a little bit. I was checking the scores. We were doing the Southern League game this week. It was 29-0 at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
You only put 12 more points on the board the rest of the way. What happened?
Hey, boys, everybody played, and everybody left healthy.
All right, very good. So everybody is healthy. That's a nice change, man. You've been through a lot of little nicks, injuries as the season's worn on.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's hitting on 100% right now.
Yeah, we were rolling today in practice, so hopefully we'll be there on Friday as well.
All right, week 1 of the conference schedule is out of the way. This weekend, Union Pines comes down.
Yep.
Our good friend Lonnie Cox will be bringing his Vikings into town. I talked to him on the radio this morning, and I didn't know. He enlightened me. They're a 46-point underdog per the state website.
Huh.
So I just want to know, are you going to cover?
Well, I don't know what that website is. I'm like, is that something he made?
I'll find. No. I'll find. He told me.
Okay.
And then right behind him, we had another guest in. Said, "Yeah, I just got off looking. They're a 46.5-point favorite." And I was like, "Oh, is it 46 or 46.5?"
That's
a big difference. Yeah, I know, right?
Well, they're 5-2.
They are 5-2.
He's doing a good job.
He is. I asked him, if I told you 3 months ago, 5-2 after 7 weeks, would you take it? And he said every day of the week. He was a late hire. He'd like to get a whole cycle through the in the weight room with those young men. Now, they've got one of the top receivers in the state, statistic-wise, Jacob Oblis. You know how they're going to try to get him the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Tunnel screen.
They're going to force the ball to him, and the running back's really good.
Yeah.
They got a really good running back.
Tyreek McCoy, only been back 2 weeks now. Had about 450 yards in the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
He's a legit D1 prospect. So they offer, some athletes, not a whole lot of wrinkles in what they're going to do.
Right.
You know what they're going to do. How do you take away something like a tunnel screen that they execute so well?
Well, I hope that we're our best scout team. I think we run it fairly well. So we go against each other in practice. Offense versus defense. Did some today. So hopefully, that pays off. I think we run it as good as anybody. So hopefully we run it better than them. I guess we'll find out on Friday.
All right, we will. You said everybody's healthy. That's good. Anything you'd like to add before the break? We'll come back and give some awards away.
Hey, it's homecoming on Friday, so I'm looking forward to a good crowd.
Know.
Yeah, it's homecoming, so we should have a good crowd. They're 5-2, so it should be. I expect a good crowd.
All right, I will pack a lunch. It's going to be one of those late nights. Now, I gotta break this out for you, and I don't know if it's too late to make the adjustment. But in traveling all over the state calling games, the smartest thing I've seen a coach do on homecoming is to do the ceremony before the game as opposed to halftime. Have you given that some thought?
Well, before the game, it messes with your pregame warm-up. So it starts messing with how early you get out there and different things like that. So I like it at halftime because it doesn't affect us as much.
Okay, if your guys get cramp up after halftime because they've been standing out on the field all the time, don't say I didn't tell you so. All right, anything you'd like to add, Coach?
That's what I got.
All right, we'll be right back after the break, and we'll give away some hardware. You're watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show with Chris Delambert, Coach Steve Burdeau.
Pentair, empowering people to move water, improve water, enjoy water, so that people can live their best, healthiest lives. Lives with purpose, lives with enjoyment, lives that flourish, lives with hope. Because at Pentair, we're not just about better water. We're about better life. Pentair, bringing water to life, for life.
Welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. I need a program to keep up with all the changes here. I'm joined on set by Justin Gaines from First Bank. How are you, sir?
Very well.
All right. Thanks, as always, for everything First Bank does for high school sports in and around Lee County. Anything special going on at First Bank these days?
We're still the community bank here in town. We do all we can to support Lee County, the athletic programs and civic organizations around town. We're doing our best to take care of the town and the county.
Did you bring kids with you?
The kids are at home.
Oh, man.
So,
not that we don't appreciate you being here, but we had a good time with the kids last week.
They very much enjoyed it. And I'm pretty sure they met some future stars.
Perfect. Coach, we're joined on set with two superstars from this past weekend and the entire year of 2019. Who do we have with us?
So, both of these guys probably could have been up here several weeks. Delmaz Jennings is a junior. He plays defensive line for us, does a lot of things on special teams, was our defensive player of the week. And then Trey Underwood, who's our kicker and punter, same thing. he could have been up here probably 7 weeks out of 7. He does all the stuff for us on special teams. He sets things up we couldn't do a lot of things without him. Put it that way. He was our offensive guy of the week by changing field position and a couple field goals he made.
All right, I have to ask, Mr. Underwood. So at what point during a drive do you start warming up? Where does the ball have to get to before you're like, Coach, I got that?
As soon as it gets on our side of the field.
Okay, so as soon as they cross the 50, you're ready to rock and roll. All right, and how far do you honestly, I'm going to put you, this is forever now, how far can you hit it from in a game?
48, 50.
48, 50? All right, Coach, every time y'all get down there and you're in that 48 to 50 range, I'm gonna be rooting for you to give him a shot to do it.
Well, I'm hoping we just get a first down and keep moving the ball.
Oh, I know you are.
That's what I'm hoping for, but if not, I got confidence in Trey.
All right, so what, in your mind, once you get past the 50, where's that sort of no man's land where you're thinking, we're too long for a field goal, but this is 4-down territory, or does it just depend game to game?
I think game to game, and he's made a couple 30, close to 40-yarders this year with plenty of leg. So I think we get close to that 48-yard range. We might have to let him kick one out.
All right, very good. Mr. Jennings, you're playing on a star-studded unit. For my money, that front 7, the defensive line, that front 4 in particular, you got some tough guys to your left and to your right. What's it like playing alongside those guys?
It's lovely.
Yeah? Just lovely. That's the best you got? All right, because you're the young guy on the group, and you're going to be taking over the mantle in 2020. What's it been like? What have you learned from those guys playing to your left and your right, from Desmond and the rest of the crew?
It helped me out with skill and all that. Helped me out with a little more speed.
What's the strongest part of your game? Would you say it's your technique, your speed, your strength? Speed. All right. Now, you're going to see a team this weekend who's going to try to get the ball out that fast every snap. How frustrating is it in a game like that to not be able to pin your ears back and get after the quarterback?
Very frustrating, especially when you get off his hands real quick. Yeah.
All right. Guys, anything you'd like to add? No? Coach, any other words about these gentlemen?
Both of these guys are key guys to our team, but also they do a great job in practice for us. They get it done. They're there every day. They work their butts off. Very proud to have him on the show tonight.
All right, very good. Mr. Gaines, we've got some awards to present.
So, Defensive Player of the Game for Del Maz, and the Offensive Player of the Game for Trey.
And to go along with that, we have $25 Zaxby's gift cards for both of you guys.
Thank you.
And Coach likes to spread it around, man, but you've got to have a strong enough game that you don't give him any choice, and he has to get you back over here. Is that all right? All right, you guys ready for Union Pines this weekend?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. That's all we got with Lee County, unless you've got anything to add, Coach.
See you on Friday night.
You gonna puff your chest out about Kyle Allen and the Panthers a little bit?
No. They're doing a great job. Hey, 4-2 now?
4-2. Kyle Allen, the first quarterback in NFL history to go 5-0 with no interceptions to open his career. It's amazing.
Undrafted.
How many fumbles has he had?
Well,
that's a whole nother story.
4 wins.
You see that hate coming from there?
Yeah.
Wow, that was strong.
4-2.
All right, this is the Zaxby's Coaches Show. We'll see you on the other side of the break with Southern Lee High School.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
Welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. Getting close to the final segment. I'm Chris Delambert. With me now, Coach Neal of the Southern Lee Cavaliers. Coach, I got to tell you, the first half you guys played this weekend was pretty strong.
Well,
pretty strong. I know you're going to do me all football coachees and tear it apart, but you had to be happy with the exception of the one fumble scoop touchdown that you gave up.
Well, yeah, but you know what? One of the best plays that I've ever seen, or effort plays that happened on that play. And when that turnover happened, and Tanoa was probably 20 yards behind it.
If he had 5 more yards, he'd got it.
He almost ran the kid down. And that's what people don't understand. Those are the things that actually let you win football games moving forward. The turnovers are going to happen, but that effort to try to make it right and get back in there, you know, earlier in the year when something bad happened like at Pinecrest, I thought we laid down. That's a bad thing that happened in the game, and he responded. Now, again, he didn't get there in time, but I promise you this, 2 more steps, I'm thinking he's going to cause a fumble, which EJ had done actually in the Franklinton game, if you remember. Thinking back after a turnover, he ran the kid down and got the ball back for us. And I'm like, okay, they're not stopping, and that's the key is to get them to play. No matter what happens, bad things happen, keep playing hard, and it all fixes itself.
And for those of you that didn't see the game, that think it's a fish story, I'm here to tell you that every word of that was true. There was a fumble around the left side. A defensive back snatched it up and had to go about 75 yards. Yep. And Tanoa Lockley came from about 20 yards behind him and got to him just at the goal line. But both of them in a dead sprint. And there's not too many people Tanoa Lockley's not going to walk down. But like you said, effort. Yeah, it's very impressive.
That's the most effort, and you know, and that's one of the. We're kind of going through some things right now, and we got to have. We don't need necessarily anybody to do anything special. We just need everybody to kind of take a step forward, pushing forward to keep winning the games, and hopefully win the championship this year. And those are the things that have to take place. And we could have pouted because we had some things happen with some of our players, and they could have pouted and not played like that. But for him to do that as a senior and the kids all follow him and see him doing that, then the rest of them will rally behind that too. But to answer your question, we did play a pretty good first half. I mean, but
I'm glad you're willing to concede that.
We did, but
it took a lot to pry that out.
Everything considered. But I thought, as good as we played the first half, I thought we went lazy, not lazy, but got more. I don't even want to say cruise control. I think we just hit neutral instead of even cruise control. We were in neutral.
It was
instead.
A little flat in the second half, but you know, when you get out to a quick start like that, you know, it's tough to find fault with. Now, you talked about things that you guys that have gone wrong, things that you could pout about. Now, you lost your senior quarterback, Thomas Harrington. Yeah. Thomas spent some time with us on the booth during the game. He's out for the rest of the year with a wrist injury.
Yes, sir.
DeAndre McAllister, who had been getting time at running back, now is the quarterback. And I'm going to tell you that the honest truth is I think everybody around the program wondered, can he throw the deep ball? Can he deliver it? And 2 passes into his first start, he had a perfect passer rating, about 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. How did the play calling change with DeAndre in there as opposed to Thomas, or are you just running your offense?
Well, we are, but we also have some, you know, people are, and I love Thomas, and as a coach, it's like you're a daddy, and you hate for Thomas' season to go like it did, and you feel bad. But then at the same time, you have your other kid coming in there, and now he's getting a chance to show the things that he can do. And I just think it's my job to figure out, okay, he can do this well. He's still learning on this. Let's emphasize what he's good at right now, try to build up those things I think he needs to improve on. And that's what we did the first day after we found out Thomas was out, and took the play sheet out, and I just do this. Oh, that wasn't good. We'll work on that. And we put together the things we thought he could do well, tweaked a few things to get him comfortable, and then we'll go from there. And then hopefully by the time we get to the end of the season, everything's opened back up again, and he's got it. But, you know, we dropped fumbles and stuff at the beginning of the year till the bugs got worked out there. So hopefully we can go through that learning curve and not have those mishaps happen in the middle of the season. That's because it's tougher now. But I think he did a really good job coming in. He does some things different. I'll let everybody else figure that out as we go forward, what we're doing different. I'm not going to tell them that. That's their job to figure that out. But he does some things different. But there's some things he can do really well, too.
From the outside looking in, it looks like the defense is playing a little bit more downhill. Now, would you attribute that to the young guys having more confidence in what they're doing, or are you calling the games a little bit differently?
No, they just getting more comfortable with what they're doing. I mean, you know, you had defense is all about reacting to what offense does, and you know, taking on blocks, playing the blocks the right way, gap integrity, being where you're supposed to be at, and when. You know, sometimes people say, oh, they're blitzing more. Well, we're not blitzing more. That kid's making the read faster, and he's filling the hole faster, and everybody thinks you're blitzing when you're really not. That linebacker now has got a better understanding of what's going on in the game, and he's hitting it so fast. They're like, oh, man, Neal and them, they're getting aggressive now. They're blitzing, and we're not. He's just making a faster read and going where he's supposed to be faster.
Well, I talked to your defensive coordinator, Rob Patterson, a million times coming into the season, all the way from the end of last year, and he talked about the potential with that linebacker group. And over the course of the last 5 or 6 years, there's been some really, really good linebackers have cycled through that program. This is as young a group as it's been, and to watch the maturation, it's got to be a lot of fun.
Well, it is. You know, they're also. It's like every week you're like, okay, now we can put this in, or they can put this in, or man, they still ain't got this. Because you know, the worst thing you can do is too much at them for any age group, and no matter what experience they got. I mean, you can put so much out there that you bog them down. And that's not football. Football need the ball snap, all the thinking's done, and we're playing football fast and hitting people hard, and that's how it should be. And coaches sometimes try to be, I think, too fancy with stuff and give them too much of this, too much of that, and they're sitting there thinking the ball snap and the play's over, and they still ain't figured out what they're supposed to do on that play. So we try to be simple, but look complicated.
Well, now you started this season with this new offense, sort of running back by committee. Some of that was out of necessity with the injuries you had in your backfield. You had some wide receivers that were running out of the backfield, and to the surface has percolated Keshawn Mays. This guy was supposed to be playing linebacker, coach.
He still plays linebacker some.
He does play some, but I'm going to tell you what, in a conference that is loaded at the running back position, he looks as good as any of them, and it seems to me to have come out of nowhere. Did you see him at this point in this season being the weapon that he has become?
If you can actually look back to last year before he got hurt and seen the glimpse of it. But you know, we got several skilled kids back there, and we are rotating them through there. There's a lot of them got yards, and that's great because that DeAndre 2 weeks ago won player of the game at tailback.
Yes, he did.
And now he's the starting quarterback, and tonight Keyshawn's going to win player of the game tonight for tailback again. I mean, he done great at. I mean, he just does what you ask him to do, and he does it very, very hard and very, very well. If we kept him there the whole time, heck, who knows, right? But we got a lot of good kids back there that can run the ball, and you can spread the carries out, and their health gets spread out, and hopefully you got 4 solid running backs at the end of the season. One of them gets banged up, you know, in November, then you still got 3 more to go. That kid can rest and heal up instead of just wearing them out, and then you're completely done because your best one is gone now, right?
Well, speaking of banged up, it's good to see Rodney Ingram back there, healthy, thumping people, and he's one of those guys. I say it on the air every week. He's one of those guys that it convinces me when I get a little full of myself and I think I could go strap a pair of shoulder pads on. I see him come through that hole, and I realize this game isn't for me anymore. Well, I don't want to tackle him. How is it possible that a 17-year-old high school student could want to put hands on him when he comes through the hole with a full head of steam?
Well, I hope they don't, actually. But they will. I mean, there will be somebody who will try to tackle him. He's still kind of getting back, though, honestly. He's still a little bit slow with everything, I think. But that's, again, he hadn't been able to take all those mesh drills and things that we've been doing with our option look. So it's still a process for him. The thinking is there. The other ones are hitting at full speed, and you can see the difference in that too. Now, he has his own strengths, and he can see things now that some of the other ones can't, and that's the skill set he has. And that time will get better and better and better as we move forward with Rodney.
All right.
But again, you got Nick, you got Rodney, Tanoa can go back there, EJ can go back there, Keyshawn goes back there. I mean, we got a lot of things we can do back there.
You're kind of spoiled, Coach.
I'm not. I mean, well, yeah, I guess, but. The great thing about it right now is that so many of them have been hurt and banged up. It's been great to be able to go into a game at least with 3 backs. We can rotate through and do those things and keep the integrity of the offense going. And we have been. And like I say, DeAndre stepped in. Everybody and their brother, I know, was worried about him. And I'm not going to lie, I wasn't necessarily worried about him being able to do it, but that's different. I mean, you're in the middle of the year, you take over for a starting quarterback. He did a great job. We're going to continue to add stuff back and add things in because they're different. he and Thomas are different kids, and they have different skill sets. We're going to show everybody, I guess, slowly over week by week what we're doing for him to help it.
Good luck this weekend. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back on the other side with Players of the Week for Southern League.
Guys, it's back!
Inline skating.
Rock and roll hair?
Calling this thing a pound sign instead of a hashtag? No, the sensation is back at Zaxby's.
The Zensation Salad is back, and introducing the new Zensation Filet Sandwich Meal with hand-breaded chicken, Asian slaw, wonton strips, and citrus vinaigrette, both served with an egg roll. The Zensation Salad and Filet Sandwich Meal, only at Zaxby's.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
Welcome back to the Zaxby's Coach Show with Chris Delambert, Coach Ken Neal, joined again by Justin Gaines from First Bank, and two superstars from this past week. Coach, who's with us?
DJ Williams and Keyshawn Mays, which we was talking about him on running the ball. I think 160 yards the other night, 15 carries, I believe it was. He just a great young man, does what we need him to do. I mean, he's played 2 or 3 spots on offense and 2 or 3 different spots on defense, and probably will continue to do that. And then this is the sophomore right here. He's probably nervous a little bit, so I'll talk for him if he needs me to. But no, DJ's done a great job this year. And the numbers I'm not a huge stat guy other than we're 4-2. I mean, that's the one I care about. But I think he had 6, 7 tackles the other night, 3 or 4 hurries and I think 1 sack and 1 fumble recovery. Is that right? 1 forced fumble. Yeah, 1 forced fumble. And they may get mad at me. I'm not a big stat guy. We're 4-2. That's the stat I care about right there. I don't want the 2 there, but it is. So,
Mr. Mays, Coach said during the break that if you needed to, he could put you in a quarterback. You've done it all on both sides of the football. You've played a lot of roles for this team. I said that people around the program didn't expect you to be the number 1 tailback at this point during the season. What's your favorite thing to do? If you could pick your position and locked in for the rest of the season, what would it be doing?
It'll be running back.
Okay. All right. Now, what would you describe your style as a runner as?
I can hit the hole hard. I can run over somebody if I need to, but I'm like a speed guy. I can get to the outside and run past people.
Yeah, I mean, you come through there like a truck coming around the corner, but I think your size, people might underestimate. Once you hit that corner, if they give you a step, you can take it to the house.
Oh, I'm going to hit you with a juke move.
I'd rather him just go to that sideline and get up it and go on. All that juke and stuff, man, that's just twist ankles in your own sometimes. Just hit it and get it.
All right, now Coach Patterson, he told me going into last offseason, I got all these young guys on this defense. Man, they got a lot of potential, but they've got a lot to learn. What's been the toughest adjustment to become a real contributor on this defense this year?
Probably not overhyping myself, not being too cocky, saying it's gonna be easy. Because defensive line would have taught me don't underestimate nobody, and because you don't know what's gonna come at you.
All right, very good, Coach. Anything to add?
I love them all. These 2 guys get to be the ones that represent us tonight. They're great representatives of Southern Lee High School football, though. If they were my sons, they are my sons. I mean, so I hope my sons can act just like them.
Christmas is gonna be expensive. You got all those kids.
Hey, listen. In my house, we get peppermint candies and bags of coal. That's all we get at our house. First Bank don't pay me no money to do this.
Very good. All right, we'll start with the offensive player of the game.
Congratulations.
And the defense.
Defense. I had to look at it, make sure it got wrong. Good job.
And as always, to go with the trophies, we have free chicken.
Buy me something?
Yes, some food.
No, you got it.
You got it. Dinner's on you tonight, right?
Yeah.
All right, Coach, do you have anything to add?
Nah, we come out Friday night and watch us. So we got who are we playing? No, I'm just kidding. I'm playing with everybody. I just want to see if they remember. Because I tell them it don't matter who we're playing. Really, I do all week long. It don't matter who we're playing. This is how we're going to do it and what we're going to do. But, yeah, we got Triton. And typically they've been, second, third place team in the conference. So we'll see how we measure up with them. They just got one over here last week, so hopefully we can make them hate Lee County all together, all the way around, both sides of the town.
Well, you did it to Northwood, so, now next up is Triton.
Triton.
My thing with Triton's a team that always amazes me because when I watch them, whether it's in person or on tape, always great athletes. And what you see on the field as a finished product just never quite makes sense given the talent they've got down there. But you got to be careful, guys. Those boys will get you. They've got some guys that take it to the house on you.
Yeah, they got a lot of eye candy.
Yes, well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of stuff to get them distracted and where they're running away from it. So, got to be disciplined and take care of it. Play your responsibility. Don't worry. I tell them this: don't worry about the pretty girl going by. Play your responsibility.
I do have to ask you. You had the misfortune of having 2 weeks back-to-back off. Now, that doesn't happen at any level of football, not Pee Wee, high school, college, NFL.
Nobody
You were in
plans it.
uncharted territory.
Yeah.
That's probably the only time in your career and the only time it's ever going to happen that you had 2 weeks off. And I was really concerned about how these guys were going to come out of the gate, whether they were going to be a little sluggish or what was going to happen. And it couldn't have gone any better to start the game. Do you want to share your secret of what you did to have these guys ready 2 weeks?
I mean, of course, like everybody else, I wanted to pout a little bit because that's not a normal thing to have 2 weeks off, and you're sitting there going, God, we're doing pretty good, we're rolling along, and then that happens, and then the injury happens, and you're like, okay, I don't always understand why things happen or how they happen, but I hope what happened is it allowed us to get adjusted to the change that came through injuries.
True.
And allow our team to have that, I mean, for lack of better terms, that little pouting period that we had. And then we all worked together and kind of bonded back together, and we come out on the other end a stronger team. As far as everybody doing a little bit more, I tell you, everybody, you're rowing a boat. You don't got to get a bigger paddle or anything like that. You may just have to put a little more effort in the paddle. We can still make the boat move.
Well, it worked out for you.
Yep.
But it just dawned on me, and I don't know why I didn't think of this before. What you should have done last Friday is scrimmage the 68 Sanford Central team.
Listen, now I know they're older than me, okay, before I say this. I know them guys are older than me. But listen, people they don't even underestimate all us old guys now. Us old guys, we're pretty tough now.
Youth or age and treachery will beat youth and speed every time.
We might, if I played on it, we may have to play like a 1/4 game instead of a 4/4 game. But I mean, Toby Keith had a song, right? I think a lot of us old guys are tougher than these guys think.
Hey, I could take you.
Think so?
One time, right?
One time.
Yeah.
One time.
That's the song, one time.
Thanks to First Bank. Thanks to Zaxby's. Thanks to all our sponsors. This has been great. This is the Zaxby's Coaches Show. I'm Chris Delambert, Coach Ken Neal, and a cast of thousands tonight, it seems like. We will see you Friday. We will be on hand at Lee County High as Union Pines travels in to get spanked. We'll see you on the other side. Peace.
Thanks for watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show, brought to you by First Bank and by Zaxby's Friends Family Flavor with your host, Chris Delambert.